And DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre joins us with more. Akshay, if you could simplify for us the apparent political instability in the French parliament and what does it mean for President Macron?
Well, as far as the political instability is concerned, Shubhendu, it's clearly, one of the lowest position of the parliament in France. 4 prime ministers in the last 2 years is already alarm bells ringing. There have been prime minister from center, there have been prime minister from the right, and now there is pressure on Emmanuel Macron to appoint a prime minister from the left side of the political ideologies among the various political parties that are supporting the present government. So the situation remains quite dire. In fact, the attempts by the recent prime minister were to do tax cuts. About $44 billion was the target, and all of this is happening because of the mounting debt on France right now. That is over $3.3 trillion. That means that on every French citizen there is about a debt of 50,000 euros. So the situation is quite dire as far as the economic stability of the country is concerned. Now we are seeing there is a political instability as well, and the current debt to GDP ratio is 114%. That means that the debt currently on France is much more than the GDP of a year. So the situation, while it remains quite critical for the economy of the country, it also remains quite critical for the political stability. There is a lot of pressure now on Emmanuel Macron to appoint a prime minister as soon as possible. There are certain faces that are being considered, including the defense and the finance minister. So the situation is being monitored by the French government, especially the French president. But amid all of these increasingly destabilizing political situations of the country, there is also now pressure coming in from the far right for Emmanuel Macron to also put down his papers and resign for a snap election. That seems to be unlikely at this point in time, but if the situations of economic instability as well as political instability continues, then we can see further destabilization of the French government. So the situation remains quite unclear that what the government is going to do. The next prime minister, when he comes, they will have a crushing debt. There are demands that are being made by the left that there should be tax increase rather than the budget cuts. That also is going to trigger further more protest or more antagonization of the public there. So the situation is quite difficult for the government to handle right now, because one side there is political instability and the economic instability continues, and if a deal or rather if a solution is not made as soon as possible, then we can see that there will be a danger to the French government on whole, and the position of the French president too. Back to you.
Akshay, thank you for those updates.